Hello, 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 all you wonderful, beautiful people. Welcome to Manda and Mom. I believe this is Cherries, part 3. Part 1 was cherries in light syrup, hot pack. 2 was whole cherries, cold pack in citrus. Some of them I use lemon, some of them I use lime. And for number 3, this one is going to be chocolate cherry preserves. Hi, I'm Renee. I'm also known as Nani. And our channel is Manda and Mom. Manda's not here right now. And I'm going to show you the process of making, because you have to mix up the stuff ahead of time, chocolate cherry preserves and how to can them. It's called a hot pack method. See you in the blink of an eye. So while we have time, these are all of the cherry stems that are left. Let me get those on to dry. I could put them on 2 trays, but I think they'll be fine like this. Might take them just a little bit longer to dry. We're also gonna do our cherry liqueurs. So these are antique lids. I'm gonna preserve it in booze. It doesn't need to be sealed. So I'm gonna try and divide up the cherry pits. There's a lot. See if we can get half of the jar full. I don't know if that one just looks like it needs more because it's square at the bottom. And if you make this and you decide that it's too cherry-y, too almondy, they say the pits kind of give an almond type flavor, you can always dilute it and just add more booze. About half. That one's, these are frozen. Cherries are frozen. I'm wondering if this one doesn't have more, but that's the way we're gonna do it. So we're gonna do one with vodka. These jars are clean. They don't have to be hot. You're not gonna seal them. I'm gonna fill up the jar. I'm gonna fill it all the way up to the lid line. Okay, and you're gonna want to place it someplace cool and dry. Probably not in direct sunlight. So look, it's already starting to turn pink. Oh, well, purpley pink. And for the second one, ew, it's got the lid. He's got a cork. Okay. This one pours a lot faster. It doesn't have that funny little thing on it like the other one did. We're gonna get it right up to the line there. You know, you don't want the most expensive liquor, but you don't want the cheapest either. So I'm hoping that this is a good one. I'm not much of a drinker. Again, it just has to be a clean lid. You're not gonna process it, and probably just gonna stick them up here in my spice cabinet, and we'll let them sit for a while. Well, the longer you let them sit, the more flavor the alcohol will absorb. These are the pitted cherries. I froze them, and I'm gonna cut them up. That's what I'm gonna use to make the chocolate cherry preserves. Okay, things are getting wilder as we go along. This is the cherries. It was 27 cups, but now that it's thawed out, it's 24. There's the lemon juice, pectin, 12 cups of sugar, and the cocoa. And I'm gonna put the cherries and the lemon juice and the pectin in this great big pan. And it's already starting to burn. Hold on. Okay, those are in here. We're gonna bring it to a full boil. It has to boil a minute. And then we'll dump in all of the sugar and the cocoa all at once and stir. Well, that was hot. And it's mighty good. But there's so much that has to happen in such a short amount of time, especially if you're hot packing, because the jars have to be hot. The food that you're putting in has to be hot. The lids have to be hot. So, I doubled the recipe, didn't have a big enough pan, put it in a great big pan, and then that pan was too big. Was supposed to make a double recipe, supposed to make 12. I got 7. And then I thought, I can't use my double canner because it won't have enough water to cover. And if we'll get the other canner, put it out, fill up the water, heat up. Then I only made 7. That all fits in the water bath canner. Probably an endeavor I will not do again. But I will pay dearly for chocolate cherry preserves. Now, canning the whole cherries, totally different experience. Easy peasy. And I will probably actually can some more tomorrow. So let me show you what a wreck my kitchen is. That's the whole cherries. Pectin needs to be put away. I'll need this to take them out. I'll need one of these to set them on. This would have been the 8th one, but it's not full. So I'm just gonna let it cool off and put it in the fridge. I don't think there's a piece of cherry in there. I think this is all the goop. Here's where I had the other canner that I was getting. I've still got it. I've still got it on deep water. Oh my. Because I thought I was gonna have to use it. And as soon as this one comes up to a boil, I will set my timer. These only have to be canned for 10 minutes, where the whole cherries in the quarts over there had to be 25. So if that's not, I knew there was going to be some spillage. I finally got a bowl to put beside, so when I dumped it, it kind of fell in there. This is the great big pan that I put it in, and then it only went about 1/4 of the way up. This is the pan that I mixed. It's 6 cups of sugar, so it was 12 cups of sugar to double it. This was the pan that the cherries started out in. The whisk to stir the sugar, the spoon to stir with, and those are for the quart jars. These are the clean dishes, and then my iPad, my drink. That's important. My drink is over there. So 10 minutes, and I'll take them out and set them over there. Probably leave them for about 24 hours. The whole chair, yeah, the fan's on. It's got to be on because I'm really hot. So you go like this, and it taps. All of those are sealed. All of those are good. Hopefully we'll get the same thing with all of the chocolate cherry preserves. Because so much had to happen so fast, and there was so much water, getting my phone out and having it in the middle of all that was not a risk I really wanted to take. But I did want to kind of at least talk you through what the process. I don't know who knows about canning, who's never canned before, or who has no idea that you could even do that. Because it is different from the other ones. So let me turn you around. So we're gonna pretend that we're setting up from the beginning. So this pot is gonna be full of water to cover the jars completely. They have to be warm. The lid part is gonna be in another little pot covered with water. They have to be warm. Do not boil these. Then you're also gonna have your stuff that whatever you're canning has to be hot also. So there will be another pan here with that big pan that I had before, would have the chocolate cherry preserves and the mixtures in it. We have these are the rings that go on the lids. This is to protect so you don't make a total mess of everything. And don't ask me what this thing is, but use it to get the lids out. Also, this has the options of, it does have handles. I can pull it up and set it on the edge of the pan to get them out. So everything's hot, everything's ready. We're all ready to go. You're gonna, however you happen to do it, and if you have your jars underwater, you do take the water out of them. So this is hot. Usually you would have a towel here. You set it down on the towel. Put this in. That's gonna protect it from you, like I said, from making a mess. And then you're going to dip into whatever pan it is that has your jelly or pickles or whatever and it's gonna go in. This comes off. You have to is clean the lid. Like I said before, if there's anything on here and your lid doesn't adhere, your food inside can spoil. So once you know that that is completely clean, you don't do all of them and then do the next step. You do one at a time because it all has to be hot. There's a little thing, it's about this long, has a little magnetic thing on it. Use it and tap it in there, but I just use my wooden spoon. So I dig in and I get one of the lids. And of course, you know, I have grandma hands. So once it's up above the water, I just grab it. It goes on top, make sure it fits well. Ring goes on. The rings do not have to be hot. Righty tighty, lefty loosey, put it down. And then it goes back into the water. I would probably use the thing in the middle and pull them up so that they're at least a little closer and not as much water. Dump the water, put this one back so it's still sitting up above the water. And then when you have all 7, 6, however many yours fits, you put it back in the basket. And some of them are different, like this one you can fit 7 and it has the things that hang up on the side. And you would just take these very carefully and set this down in the bottom of your pan. The lady that did it, that I watched do it, there were a couple of things that she did differently that I hadn't seen before. One, she put a towel in the bottom of her pan. I've always used a metal rack. You have to be sure that none of the jars are touching. The water has to be able to circulate, keeps the heat even, kind of stuff. She also used a different kind of lid. It looked like a pickle jar lid. And I don't know if companies have made lids that are reusable. I haven't ever found any, haven't researched it, but she also, when she was canning them, she only brought the water up to the bottom of the lid. And I didn't do that. I covered mine completely. She did process hers for 10 minutes and she left hers in the water and let all of it cool down together, which is what I did. But processing it at a boil, not a rolling boil, but it has to be hot enough to be making bubbles. And so then after you get your lids on, you set them on a towel, let them sit 12, 24 hours. They have to cool off and you'll hear them ping. So I've showed you the ones that we've canned and they don't ping. This one has this little poppy thing in it. It's open. But, excuse me, but this is the one that wasn't quite full. So it's been in the refrigerator. It's never been. So if you have any questions, you can put them in the comments. I'll be happy to try and answer them. I am not a canning master. I'm not an expert. But I thought the cherries were pretty cool. I like the idea of the chocolate cherry preserves, and I put it on a gluten-free chocolate muffin from Trader Joe's and put some cream cheese in it. It was delicious, delicious. So I'm gonna find some other things that I can do with the chocolate cherry preserves. It is the next morning, and these are the whole cherries. There's no sound, it's solid. You can't push it down. Doesn't move, doesn't make any noise. And these are the chocolate cherry preserves. What I don't understand is 2, 4, 6, 7, and there's a 3/4 of one there. It's supposed to make 12. I only got 8. I don't know if it's because the cherries had thawed, but all of them, they're sealed, so you can take the rings off if you want. They can be reused. This is not going to come off. You have to use one of these with the rounded, and I'm not going to pop it because I have one in the fridge, but pop it to unseal it. So these will literally stay good until you open them, and then you probably have, those are in sugar, those won't last very long, but, and these are preserves, they have lots of sugar in them. Should last in your fridge like other jams and jellies. Thank you so much for coming along. He's really enjoying the new toy I got him. I'm hearing it crinkle. I don't know if you guys can hear it crinkle, but I'm hearing it crinkle in the background. Thank you for coming along. Thank you for all your comments. We do read your comments. We can all learn from each other. Let me know in the comments what kind of content you would like. Do you want more gardening content? Do you want more recipe content? There's other things that I could can. I have canned other fruits and vegetables. I have never canned a meat. To me, that's just another level that I don't know that I want to tackle. I mean, anytime you can, if it doesn't get sealed or your food wasn't processed long enough, it can make people sick. But when you can a meat, to me, those risk factors just go up and up. And maybe if I had somebody that I could work with that had canned meat before, and I could watch and do in the process and see, maybe. And my thought for canning meats would be I could take some of the meats out of the freezer, or like the other day when I got 3 packages of chicken thighs. For each package was $4. They were regularly $9, $10 a piece because they were on quick sale. So I just brought them home, put them in the freezer. Not the whole package, but I divided them out into meals and put them in the freezer. But I could have taken those and put in 4 in each jar and done a batch and canned them. But as I've not canned anything that's meat, and then I don't know if you can it with the bone in, or so that's one area that I am still learning in, but I have lots of recipes. There's lots of garden out there. We are still working on the house, trying to get it set up, and eventually one of these days this will disappear. But as Manda always says, remember, you are the magic. And as I always say, remember, you're blessed to be a blessing.